Hello, today is Sunday, February 18th, and you are watching the Viewscreen.
The Viewscreen is your weekly Star Trek magazine show with features, special guests, and a lot of love for our Star Trek family all around the world.
Now, if you're not watching us live, you really should be, so join us on YouTube. But you can catch this as a audio, as a podcast. So you can listen to us there or come back and do a replay on YouTube.
We really do appreciate all of your support. So I would like to remind you all of the 287th rule of acquisition: subscribers equals profit. So please make sure you go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube so you never miss an episode of the Viewscreen.
And we are trying to get to 100 by the end of our first season. That's 10 episodes. So please, everyone, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and share this with your friends. See that thumbs up? Give us a like, and please put your comments in the chat. We already have Rashid. Hello. Nice to see you again.
Hey, Rashid. Great to have you.
Yeah. So, Kelvin, how are you doing this week?
I'm really good. Just got 2 more days of work, Monday and Tuesday, to get through, and then I'm on holiday mode, and I will be jetting off to come and see you in person, Amy.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Very excited. Well, Monday is an actual holiday. What is it? President's Day. So a lot of people don't have work. And then I'm going in a day early to go explore Universal. So I'm very excited. I've never been to Universal or the Harry Potter world. So looking forward to that.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that'll be nice for you to get there nice and early.
Yes.
Good stuff. Shall we see what we've got coming up on today's show?
Well, we've got Kristin coming back with us to give us the news.
Hey. And we have Christian Carter joining us today to show us all of the Star Trek merchandise I'm sure you're going to want to buy. Hey, Christian.
And a big welcome to Jason Anderson to give us a political landscape of 2024. I think there's some good things there.
Wonderful. That sounds so good. Another packed show. We've got some great people with us today.
We do.
Shall we get going?
Yes. Well, let's get Kristin back on stage. Welcome.
Hello.
And how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired. Yeah, it's been a busy week. I've been a little under the weather since about Wednesday. So my work was really great and let me work from home. So I was able to get everything wrapped up. And I tell you, Friday at 4:30, putting on the out of office reply was cathartic. It was cathartic. So this weekend has just been prepping for our house sitter who's coming to watch our cats. Mm-hmm. And otherwise, I'm packed and ready to go. I just have to put my my blow dryer into my suitcase and I'm done. I'm ready to go.
We leave a hair dryer on the ship. I'm just saying.
That doesn't tackle.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend 3 hours drying my hair, but so we leave at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning too. So yeah.
Are you coming to Universal with me?
We're still talking about whether or not we want to do Universal. Yeah, we don't know how jet lag we're gonna be and whatnot, but I would love to.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the news.
Yeah. All right. So as always, I love to do my birthdays. So happy 26th birthday to Prey from Voyager, season 4, episode 16. It's always so, I don't know, it's humbling seeing that the years tack on to your favorite episodes, but yet I haven't aged a day.
Yeah.
So Prey, I love this episode. I think it is one of Voyager's best because I mean, not only is it just action-packed and kind of got really good grit to it, it's just one of those episodes you're like, really, the Voyager crew needs one more thing to deal with. Of course, being 70,000 light years from home, but now they've got these two species duking it out on their ship. So, but no, I really like this episode.
When you go back to this episode as
Yeah.
just a random rewatch, it's really odd to see Janeway and Seven going at each other the way they do. You forget about that initial period of antagonism between them both.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really comes to a head in this episode.
It does. But it's so good. Not the I actually really liked the prequel movie, Tim. I don't know if you did either, but maybe that's a discussion we can have offline at some point, because I don't know many people who've actually seen that, and I'm a huge Predator fan. So and then the next birthday is a bit of a funny one. So the Dauphin. So when I'm sick, what I do is I put on, can we go back? Thanks. What I do is I put on TNG and I just let it play. It's my emotional support noise in the background. And this popped up when I was in and out of a fever dream. And I'm like, who okayed this?
Yes.
It was,
oh my gosh.
But it was 35 years ago. So
it's almost like changelings done wrong.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but and it's so funny because the episode that aired the week before this was Measure of a Man.
Mm-hmm.
So you get this epic episode that they wrote like entire articles about online this week about how it has established Trek as this politically charged, human rights based piece of sci-fi, and then the next week you get
the Dauphin.
And I'm like, you know
get
what?
Really epic flirting with Riker and Guinan in this episode. That is quite the scene.
Tell me more about my eyes.
Yeah, I do like it when she tells Wesley to get lost. That was good. Yeah. So on to what is coming up this year, which I'm really excited for. So the last time I was on, we were talking a lot about new reading this year, as well as new comic books. And this is another one coming out, but it is all highlighting the LGBTQIA+ community that has been featured in Star Trek. So this will be coming out in June in recognition of Pride Month.
Oh.
And it is just all about all of the different characters in the franchise who are LGBTQIA+. And I think it is lovely. I think this would be exactly what Gene Roddenberry would want to see in terms of highlighting the diversity and the acceptance and the love everybody has. And Kelvin, as you were noting, this cover is just gorgeous. The artwork is absolutely stunning.
It's just, do we know who the artist is on this? It is just really, really pretty.
I will look after my segment and I will get some names. I should have probably added those.
So who's the blonde in the lower right-hand corner?
That's Nurse Chapel from Strange New World.
Coach.
Oh.
This is where Amy says, I didn't know.
I didn't know.
There's a conversation in Spock and Mark, your favorite episode of the season, where she's talking to Ortegas about a girl that she...
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Allow me to mansplain for you.
Oh, my God. Would that be gay-splain?
Possibly.
I've just been gay-splained.
That's the only kind of mansplaining I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Really.
There you go.
It's a loophole.
Yes.
But yeah, it's and I love how when we talk about sexuality and how it is not just black and white, and how it does very much fall on a spectrum, and people always say, why are there so many letters? Because there's so many ways of identifying and so many ways of loving that you can't do it in 2 letters. Yeah. Right. Or I get whatever.
Yeah.
So, everybody on this really does fall into sort of one of the different categories. And I just think it's just stunning. I can't wait to get this. So
yeah.
Awesome. Next we have, okay. So excuse the tiny writing. I hope everybody can just zoom in. So unless you were living under a rock, you're probably very much aware that April 4th is the day that the final season of Discovery does air. It was everywhere. And then I was able to track down the episode names. Oh, I'm really big now.
Yeah, I was thinking that would make that larger, but it did the opposite. So sorry.
This larger. So Red Directive and Under the Twin Moons, we get a double airing on April 4th. I can't even pronounce the April 11th. Janal, Face of the Strange, Mirrors, Whistle Speak, another one, Era. I'm making a fool of myself. Labyrinth, Lagrange Point, and Life Itself will be the name of the series finale. So, yeah, Rashid, I love it when seasons start with a double header. I think that really helps to get people stoked, to get back into the swing of things. So, I like what they're doing. And the episode titles are interesting, but they don't give away any plot points, right?
I was going to ask, have we got any theories based around those titles? I don't think I do at this time.
Yeah, I was thinking mirrors. Is that going to be, some connection to the mirror universe again? Because we love doing that.
Yeah. And then labyrinths, does that mean that they're going to be like stuck in a maze or stuck in some sort of, I don't know.
I don't think it means David Bowie is coming on.
Darn it.
I probably because he's no longer with us, but could you imagine if they were able to put him in the Vulcan Goodbye?
That would be a signing.
That's funny, Tim.
Yeah, Tim says maybe the final episode should have really been titled Vulcan Goodbye.
Oh, I love that.
Very smart, Tim.
Oh,
great way to bookend.
Writer.
Yeah.
So the final episode will air on May 30th, and then I guess that's it for the era of Discovery. And who knows what's next? There's still so much conjecture and uncertainty about what the other series might be, what new movies might be. So, we have Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks coming out, so there is still new Trek. But when I was doing research this week for this episode, there still isn't a lot coming out as either about the fate of Paramount. So unfortunately, there's just not a lot of clarity around. So it's really time to just enjoy what we're getting, because I guess we don't know. We're really going into the great unknown.
Yep.
So
speaking of enjoy, do you think we're going to get episode 1 on the cruise next week? I think it'd be a shame not to, since Sonequa, Doug, Anthony Rapp, they're all there. I just think it would be lovely.
I mean,
I think it's just a little too far away.
Yeah. I mean, it's ready, but it's the kind of spoilers. Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite evenings on the cruise last year was when they aired the new Picard episode. And it was the one where they revealed that they were fighting changelings. And I remember the collective gasp in the theater. And I was like, oh, and yeah, it was like, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking of it. So, Kelvin, you know what? Let's put some good vibes out into the world that maybe they'll surprise us. But I think Amy's right. We're not a quiet bunch of people. We might spoil it for others. So.
I mean, you are literally here to tell everybody the news about Star Trek. So we might not be the best people to give an early viewing to.
Well, let me tell you what happens in detail. I get sued. Do we get insurance on this show?
We need some more Patreons.
Yeah. Go like and subscribe. So next up we have this I just thought was quirky and adorable. So Valdez, Alaska is where they've got a big plaque that it's the future birthplace of Commander William Riker. And there is now a huge petition going around to have a William Riker statue and bench built in the city.
Oh my gosh. Are they just going to do this for all the characters across America?
I would love that. I think
how
that would be fantastic.
funny. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah. But the gentleman who has started the petition said to know that Gene Roddenberry was so impressed and taken with Alaska that he purposefully made one of his characters from here is something I think we should take pride in ourselves on and celebrate. And I love that. You know, it's amazing that even if they're not necessarily a fan of the show, they can recognize that a huge character from a gigantic franchise is based out of their little town up in Alaska. And why not celebrate it? And
Well, I think with Janeway's in Indiana, like that's been a revenue source because so many fans go by to visit. And I'm thinking that's what they want to do is pull in. All right, well, while you're here up in Alaska, come see our little town because this is what makes us famous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like here in Canada, we have Vulcan, Alberta. And it's literally a town of like 5 people.
Yeah.
But they've got so much Star Trek stuff everywhere. And they're like, well, we might as well hitch our train onto this this movement here. So yeah.
Right. So that's now. So yeah, we have the Janeway and we have the Kirk in Iowa.
Yep.
And now potentially a Riker. We need a Cisco place.
I was just gonna say we need.
Who else can we? Yeah,
we need a restaurant.
One would be handier for me. It's a bit closer to get to France.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be good. Laval.
Laval.
Yeah. So anyway, just cute and quirky. I thought this was really funny. And then we have this as well. I thought was super cool. This gentleman here is Westmore. He is been on over 600 episodes of Star Trek doing special effects makeup. And he is being awarded the Vanguard Award on February 28th. He's worked on Rocky, Mask. He actually won the Oscar for that. And like I said, 600 episodes of Star Trek. So I love this quote that he says, you know, the scripts didn't say what the aliens were going to look like. So he had complete freedom to develop it. So this man is responsible for a lot of what we recognize today as different alien species, as, you know, canon. He's probably partially responsible for the Dauphin. And then as well, he wrote a book in 2017 talking about his experiences. It's called Makeup Man from Rocky to Star Trek. And they're making a 10-hour documentary on it that's currently being filmed. So that is another thing I'm really looking forward to is the chance to see that and to see his genius. Like I can barely beat my face in the morning, and this man is creating species around the world. And yeah, I'm in awe of him. My favorite quote isn't from Star Trek, but it's from Rocky. And I guess at one point he was helping with the special effects makeup when Creed and Rocky were fighting, and he said like one of the hits was wrong, and he's like, and I was suddenly covered in blood. It's just like that's an interesting day in the office, isn't it?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
Genius.
not a lot of, you know, news about what's coming up because there's a lot of stalling right now with this whole Paramount thing. So I thought I would find some more of the fun little quirky news stories.
No, absolutely wonderful. I wouldn't have known about these things without you. So thank you. And let's bring in Christian and Jason. All right. So tell us, what did you think? Anything you want to say about Discovery, Michael Westmore?
I am so excited about that Michael Westmore documentary.
Yeah.
I really am.
His
I don't know if
daughter.
you've ever watched Face Off.
Yeah. His
And
daughter.
It's really awesome when he pops in there every once in a while. And
I think his daughter's the host of that,
She
right?
is.
Yeah. And she's also
Yep.
been on Star Trek in makeup in several roles too.
Very cool.
Like, as an extra, or is she an actress?
She's an actress.
Right. Oh,
Do we know
cool.
what she played?
So I know she was in a couple of the Kelvin movie. Like, but I do think she was more background in like she might have been in Discovery too. She's done quite a few, but she's always in makeup, like I think a la her dad. I believe. I could be wrong, but I think so.
What? Oh, I'll research that later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, as much as I understand CGI and special effects and all of that, there's something to be said for the old school way of doing movie and TV, where it was makeup, where it was props and all of that. Like the Indiana Jones with the face melting and reading about how they did that. And a lot of the other special, that can't be replaced by CGI. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It just can't. And sometimes I feel like we're losing some of this artistic, like, I'm not saying that CGI is not art, but it's the traditional way.
Physical.
It just, there's something that just can't be redone. So
it's almost that kind of, we accept the criticism that is sometimes made as a joke about the whole aliens are just different noses and foreheads. And obviously that's the limitations of makeup and prosthetics of the day.
Yeah.
But that's something to embrace about Star Trek and love. If it was all just CGI from day one,
right?
You wouldn't have that little quirk of the series. They wouldn't have had to make an entire episode to explain that limitation, like they did in The Chase on TNG.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I was going to talk about that, but I also think it's not. I don't ever see it as a limitation. I see it as a commonality. You know, like I see it as like you can be very, very different, but you have similarities, and even down to our like basic structure. But like maybe I'm just reaching. That's how I've always seen it.
Yeah,
I think that's a positive message. You know, as the inclusivity. You know, it's not a limitation.
Yeah. Maybe there's some things that Star Trek is touching on there, where it's like carbon-based life forms have to have certain structures in order to survive. So if they didn't have those commonalities, they evolution would have already taken them out because they wouldn't have been able to survive.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
well, Tim Hands points out that we really shouldn't expect too much Star Trek, as you said, with Paramount takeover merger still in flux.
I know.
Aren't we getting? I sort of feel like we're going to get Prodigy season 2. I know that's on Netflix, but that is some Trek that we should be getting also this year.
Yeah.
And don't you think we're going to get Lower Decks?
Yeah.
I mean, this all just.
I think aren't they filming Lower Decks right now?
Lower Decks is done, but I saw an interview with the showrunner on another podcast, and he was saying that they've not even seen the cut themselves yet, what they use for advertising purposes. So they're still nowhere near giving us the date, even though everything is kind of produced.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, Kristin, thank you so much for bringing us the news this week. Really
Always
do appreciate you. We will see you later in the show.
Okay, let's move on to the first of today's features then. And just welcome back. He was just with us, but welcome to one of my very favorite humans in all of the world, our good friend Kristin.
Oh, howdy, y'all.
Kristin, welcome to the Viewscreen. We're so happy to have you on.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
So,
this is
Kristin,
exciting. I was shaking in my britches a little bit this week, but I think I'm going to be okay.
No, our show is all about celebrating all of these wonderful people that we know and love, who we've met through conventions and just the internet. And in all of our lockdown Zooms that we had for 2 years, you were just famous for raiding through that closet and pulling out all of these things that you've spent all of your money on each and every week, whether it's from the brand new from the store or something you've found as vintage. So we thought, who better to invite onto the Viewscreen to talk all things Star Trek merchandise than you, my good friend.
Thank you very much. No, I have tons of stuff. I look on the daily, since I collect so many different things, you know, it pops up the smallest thing, and then I'll think of something and I'll just jump online, and then I'll just start going through, because I like to give gifts. I love it. And so I'm like, what can I get? I like obscure stuff to like fun things, but my collection is out of control. It's getting bad. But I do like to find unique things.
Yeah.
Things that are a little different and that are you can give for yourself or for other people. So I do look at that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking at collecting merchandise, are you a completist? So if you buy one thing from a set, you've got to have all of them, or can you just dip in and out?
I do, but like the past, I would say 5 years or so, I kind of like moved away from like buying like a lot of action figures and like sets and like ships and all that, and kind of like, because I was like, I got enough of that, and just started getting this kind of like obscure stuff. So like I'll show today, like I like my like rings and hats, just something a little different, because I do like that. But I found some really great things that I have actually just recently purchased.
Yes.
And that are kind of on a queue, just kind of waiting to see. And then I found stuff while I was looking for like different people. So I've got a few things to order for a few people that hopefully will be in before the cruise.
Good luck. It's only a couple of days.
Goodness.
I know.
So
I'm just like,
excited.
come on. I need this to be here quick.
All right.
You show us what you've got then, Kristin.
Okay.
You are an advertiser's dream.
Oh, I listen. I can talk about it, and I can look. Listen, I don't have a lot of smarts, but I can do smarts about any sort of like sci fiction fantasy. I can do the world. But first up though, I was talking about just a while ago the rings. So I just found this really great website, and it has these rings, and these rings are they range anywhere between $20 to $50. So what I try to do today is just given like a mid-level, like just even Stevens when it comes to money, because you don't want to over complicate things and spend a lot of money on things. Sometimes we just want a little joy in your life or bring somebody some joy. So small things like this, $20 makes you smile. I say do it. So this ring is really awesome. I have found a lot of other really great Star Trek rings. I got some as well, but I do love this one. And it's $20. And nice. I try to make sure today that the most expensive thing that I will show today is going to be like $90. I wanted things to be just sort of like, at a place where you could get it and not hurt your wallet.
Yeah.
So the second thing is the thing I'm holding in my hand is this new Star Trek mug, this big old lovely coffee mug. It is at Walmart, and it is a steal for $7.96. I'm just saying,
wow,
it's a steal. It's a steal. I showed it the other day on one of our text threads, and I know personally of a few people who have went and bought 3 or 4 of them at one time. So
wow.
Does it come in blue and red also, or is it just the gold?
Just the yellow.
Just the gold. But it does have your little NC 1701 right there.
Nice.
You see that? Yeah. And it's just I love big mugs. So it gives me a little joy to have these. But also, since we're here, I don't know if you can actually sit. Let's put it in front real quick. But these Star Trek mugs right here, they're just really cute. These little cute mugs. These are actually right now at Cracker Barrel for $8. You know, they're kind of your all around Star Trek mug. Yeah. And they're fun. And I gave some to my best friend Jeremy this year for Christmas. I gave him one.
Oh.
I was like, just get it. I was like, get it. But there's so many things on here. But we all like a little Star Trek fun stuff. When it's still, you get a little package in the mail, it's kind of like that little high you get. You're like, this is good. So the third thing is the most expensive thing I was going to be on here today. It's this little Star Trek pullover. I love it. It comes in gold and blue and red. And
it looks nice and fleecy. Is that one?
Know.
It looks lovely material.
I mean, I can just see myself in that with like DS9 on in the background, curled up on the couch, drinking out of this mug. You know.
Now, if I remember correctly, I may have this wrong, so Amy, I might need your help here. Giraffe, who was on last week, did she not say she's a patron of this? She has like discount codes for heroes and villains.
For heroes and villains?
Yeah.
There's some really good things out there, so I recommend. It's such a great site for just unique fun things. And I have some more things from that site actually on today's podcast here with y'all. But this next thing, y'all, I'm telling you, this is something that a lot of y'all are going to be seeing and getting from me because I love a wine glass, and to have a wine glass with your personalized name on it, I think it's joyful, and I think it's a fun gift.
What a coincidence. Me and Amy also love wine.
Yes.
Y'all. But yeah, just saying, I may have a few things on their way.
Goodness.
Because I think a lot of people deserve this wine glass with their name on it. So,
that's wonderful. Yeah.
I love it. I think personalized gifts are
$16. Come on.
A personalized gift, $16. I'm like, I'm in, because I mean, I would, like, when I'm drinking, I'd be like, hey, this person did this for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know. It's you remember. Yeah.
Yes. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Y'all. And the next one. So I listen to podcasts and audiobooks nonstop. And I am obsessed with this. And I may have purchased this 2 days ago. But it is a Star Trek Cube Bluetooth speaker.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that fun? I just thought that was so much fun, because I have my little speaker in my room and it does its job. But this is the way to go. So I was like, hey, I want it. I'm going to get it. And that was a quick impulse buy. Is
that is the green lighting on that? Is that just the paint job, or does it light up green?
That one is just well, it says it's a green illumination. So I don't know if it glows in the dark or what.
Yeah, it will
illuminate. Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell y'all, that'll be pretty.
When it comes in, I will definitely send photos.
Let us know. Yes.
Because
and does a little Borg sphere come out of that hole? It's gonna turn it up too loud.
Oh yeah.
I wish it would, and have like little earbuds.
Yeah.
I hope that's what it's for.
I would love it, y'all. But no, I just thought this was fun, and I just like, dang it, here's my money. Here it is. Okay, this next one though, I do have some wall art. I think we all have wall art, and I think a lot of people have probably seen this. I don't know if y'all seen this poster before. You haven't? I love it. I think it's just a great piece. And what I love about, though, it's 10, and so you attach the little square piece on the wall, and it's magnetically seals against the back of your wall. So it's really nice. So it's really flat, and I am obsessed with this because it looks almost like a poster, but it lays so flat against your wall. So,
nice. Cool.
I bought that too. So this next one, I know Amy's got these couple of cups right here. I thought they were cute. They're from Just Geek. Just Geek. Yes, Amy, I love it. But they have so many cute little things, and I got a couple of another Just Geek stuff on here as well. I just think they're fun, like fun little unique things. I'm like, that's why I said I'm getting away from the ships and the figures and just getting these obscure stuff, which is probably going to take up more room than my figures. But the next thing, y'all, is I just threw it on here. Just talk about merchandise. If you haven't listened to it, on Audible or another site, or even just bought it flat out as, an audiobook, this is awesome. This Stitch in Time, Andrew Robinson. I think we all listened to him read excerpt from it last year, and it was just so awesome. And I'm just like, as the merchandise thing goes, I'm like, get it, listen to it. It will bring this feeling back to you and it's nice, especially when you want to kind of hear and see some of your old characters and have that feeling back inside you again. So
Yeah,
I like it. I was very happy with that. So the next one I just put up there real fast, guys, is just some hats. I have at least 20 Star Trek hats that I don't know why I keep getting them. But I just threw it out there. I'm like, guys, if you don't have anything, buy you a Star Trek hat, because for me, I like it. My car is full. I mean, I'll probably bring about 10 on the cruise, just saying.
Yeah.
So the next one is hilarious. This guy has made this entire Quarks bar from these, like, he just like makes these from 3D printers, and it makes me laugh. So it's Quarks bar. That's all it is. So you have like just a replica of it, and you can put your figures behind it and have your little setup stand with everything.
Compatible with the 4.5-inch Playmate action figures.
Totally,
Oh
100%.
my God. That's, how much is that?
Well, it's just different pieces, but this is $15 for half of that. $15.
Wow.
I say get it. I say get your wallet out, buy it.
Yeah, I think some of the I know I've not seen many from DS9. I've seen a lot from Voyager, and I've seen 10 Forward from Next Gen, but I've not seen this.
Yes,
ooh,
I know. But see, since DS9 is my heartfelt show, I was like, oh, I gotta put this on here. And and there's another one too. You know, I love Garrick. So the next one, y'all, is, you know, I think y'all have seen this before, this hoodie. But I love this Garrick's Clothers Unisex hoodie. I love it. I bought it. I think it was hilarious. I just think it's just, I don't know. DS9, it's anything, it just grabs me. I'm just like, dang it. Here's my money. Because I don't think there's not as many DS9 things. There's a lot, but not as many as some of the other shows. So I'm in. And so I put a couple of things on here, y'all, for the people who have a little bit of everything, because I think this and another thing coming up, it cracks me up. There's a tent shaped like the shuttlecraft. I thought that was, I'm not buying it, but I'm like, there's going to be some hillbillies out there that's going to be like, you know what I need? I need that Star Trek tent.
Here in the UK, like music festival culture is a really big thing. We have Glastonbury, which is one of the world's largest music events, and all my friends go. And I always say, "You're not going to get me going to those things. Give me a hotel room with a shower, with room service." This is possibly the only thing that would get me out to a music festival if I could sleep in this.
That's funny.
I love it. I think it's hilarious.
It's hilarious. Anyway, that's why I put it on.
Think about staggering across the field at 3 o'clock in the morning after you've had a few drinks. You would know which tent is yours.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, perfect. Yep.
That's awesome. No, it was just so ridiculous. I had to show it. So the next one is I have a lot of pop figures. Star Trek wise, I only have like 6, but this is the one that I specifically went out and got because I just love not only this movie, but this scene in particular. I think we all do. When Pop did this little scene, I'm like, I say, here's my money, take it. And for $13, I'm like, it's a steal. So I love it. I say, if you just want a little, like if you're a novice collector or you've been doing this for a long time or you just want a little something for yourself, these little Pop figures are the way to go. They're just really cute.
I think these are dangerous because these are like the tribbles of the merchandise world. Like the chain of merchandise sci-fi shops over here in the UK is called Forbidden Planet. And you used to go in a Forbidden Planet and there'd be lots of comics and action figures and everything else. You walk in them now and half the shop is these Funko Pop.
Oh
Right.
no.
They have just taken over.
Oh no.
They're everywhere. So these, if you are a completist, you're screwed if you've started getting these.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you're right about that. If you're someone who has to have everything, yeah, you're gonna be shelling out a lot. See, that's why I have to pull myself back. Well, I say that, but
and then you go out and buy some stuff.
I'm like, come on, y'all. Y'all, this next one is just this lamp cracked me up. I had to put it on here.
Yes.
I thought it was funny. I just thought it was funny. This organ lamp. It's so funny. So
insert joke about being turned on.
Yeah, you go.
Look at you. There, yeah. There's the wit. It's awesome. Because with that, if that's beside your bed at night, when you bring somebody home, you just better, you know what's happening.
Yeah, they're already in your bedroom. They're already in your bedroom. I hope they'd know what's going to be happening.
I would just probably put on Star Trek and be like, "What you doing?" Okay, guys. So this next one's coming up, y'all. These right here are also one of my favorite things in a long time. I love Redbubble. I buy a lot of their T-shirts. I will plug Redbubble as much as possible, but they have hundreds and hundreds of artists who make amazing designs for your Star Trek shirts. But they also, on Redbubble, you can get your hats, your coffee mugs, your stickers, anything you kind of want related to this. But these blankets and these little these plush blankets right here come in 4 sizes. I've got them for people for gifts before. You can choose, like I said, I think there's like 300 Star Trek artists. Designs. And you can get this from just a small blanket to put on your couch and color up and watch you some TOS if you want, or get a full size, like king size blanket for your bed. And I just put a few examples up there. I thought they were kind of cute, but there's some obscure stuff that you can get on there. But this is one of my favorite things. And this is actually going to be, just throwing it out there, this will be a gift. This is going to be gifts for people this year as well. For me. I love them. Yeah, I think they're cool. All right, Amy, I think I got a lot of stuff. Now, this is just something random I threw out there. I have, once again, way too many backpacks. This is just a little throw backpack. I got this just for just to go to the gym with.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
I have. Is that from Redbubble as well? The Klingon.
Yes.
Yeah, I have that as a T-shirt.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, from Redbubble.
Yeah, I love it. I just love that they have just so many random things that you can. I mean, it's just it's a really great website just to get kind of a little bit of everything. Now,
and it celebrates those independent artists as well.
Does.
It's a great way of them getting their stuff out.
Yeah, it does. And these people, some of these artists are just so good at what they do, and I'm just like, once again, like, take my money, I'll support you. And what's good about like Redbubble and like T Fury and T Public, when you buy them for a while, you'll start getting emails for different sales that they have, and they will. And when you get that email, I'm just like, damn it, I'm at it again.
Yeah,
but it's bad. The next one, y'all, is it reminds me of the tent. This is just an off the wall thing I would never buy for myself, but it cracked me up. Like I'm like, who? This is for the collector who has everything but doesn't have everything. This is for somebody who was like, I need this captain's chair.
Is that an inflatable?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how fun for your kids. I mean, well, for you too.
Yeah, is it for a swimming pool?
I would.
Oh, I don't know.
I would have thought that was a pool inflatable, and it would flip over.
Yeah, I think like a game room.
Yeah, it's something where I'd be like, you'd feel if you were so avid and you like, I need this. I can see someone sitting in there watching their show, just being like, okay, I'm feeling it. But I definitely don't need that, but I'm hoping a lot of other people do.
Oh, Tim's
Oh
got
my
one.
Oh, he
gosh.
got it for the grandkids. That's awesome. I think it's hilarious. I love it. There's so
Wow.
it's just so, like I said, when you start going down that rabbit hole, and there's so many random, fun, obscure stuff that you would never even think about. It's out there, and I'm like, I love it. This next one, y'all, I put it on there because my sweet mama bought this for me in 1997. And with post-it notes, it said Bubba on it that you put on the post-it notes area, and it does have all these sound effects, and it still works. I still have it, and the insignia badge right there. Hold your pins. It's fun. It's fun. I don't know why they have it for $50. I think it's just because people are like, it's probably not a lot of them out there, but
Right, because you can't. Yeah, they're not being produced.
Making
Man, I wish
No.
they still worked.
it still works, and it is a lot of fun. And it's
Nice.
one of the things that I just put it on there because it still brings me joy to like just push those buttons and hear the sound effects, and it's a fun little thing. And these next two, y'all, so this next one is just something fun, just once again, these little coin purses, these little pouches, I just thought were super cute. Just they're smaller, they're super cute. I don't have a lot of change. I'd probably put a bunch of rings in it since I had too many Star Trek rings. But this is something that I saw this, and the first thing that I thought, I was like, I would like this if it had like a little hook on it to go in my backpack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure you could modify it to do that if you really wanted to.
Yeah,
if you
get a
got
little
quite crafty.
carabiner maybe.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would
Nice.
love something like that. But I kept thinking, I was like, if that was on my backpack, it'd be pretty cool. And
Mhm.
this last one, guys, I think there's one more left. Oh no, we got these two and one more. I love aprons. I've got two.
I have one.
You do have one?
Yeah, I've got the TNG one.
You do?
Yeah.
I love it. You got that. That's great. Because these, I just think they're fun. And this is just another one of those things where you can get 100 different kinds of aprons.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love that they've used the Cheers branded logo there for Quarks.
Right.
that's why I put that one on
Considering
there.
so many people were on Cheers and Frasier in Star
I think I'm
Trek,
gonna
that's
buy that
amazing.
because I do love that one. That's kind of on my queue and my radar. Quarks one. And this last one, y'all, so y'all can shut up and get me off here. I'm telling you straight up right now, I know I'm running my mouth, is awesome. And I know someone in particular that's going to be getting this, but it's a custom bobblehead Star Trek figure. So yeah, put your big old noggin on top of that bobblehead, and that would be awesome.
That's pretty good for $68.
I think so as
from a
well.
custom.
Right.
Yes, I think so as well. I think that would be a great gift. But yeah, that's a lot of obscure fun things that I have chosen.
Christian, you brought us everything from the sophisticated to the silly and everything in between, and we love you for it. Thank you so much. Let's bring in Kristin and Jason.
Oh, Lord.
If we can pull them away from the internet, not too busy filling up your baskets.
I know, right?
Jason, what took your fancy?
I think, really going back to the very beginning, I have never seen those rings. Those are so cool. And the Star Trek fleece. I mean, lots of stuff in there I would own, but those two stuck out just from the very beginning of the presentation. I was like,
I love that. Yeah, that's great. There's some really great rings out there. If you get on Amazon, there's a series of rings that they have right now. They're $14.99. They have the little etched insignia on it, but also too they'll have a little sometimes little comm badges around the side, or just little colors, speckles in it, and it's really nice, of gold and blue and red.
And how about you, Kristin? What's on your shopping list from all of that?
Everything, I think. Just like Jason, though, I really liked the rings. So Justin and I don't actually have wedding rings that we wear. And so I'm like, But now can I convince Justin to wear a Star Trek ring all the time? I don't know. I mean,
you've convinced him to come on a Star Trek cruise, so I think if you can do that, you can get him to wear a Star Trek ring.
It's just a stone's throw, right?
Yeah.
But the inflatable chair is just harkening back to like getting PTSD from being a 90s kid, being obsessed with inflatable furniture. And then you get it and you set it up and you're so excited and you sit on it. You're like, this is horrible.
It's the worst uncomfortable.
Most uncomfortable thing ever. But I actually have an inflatable captain's chair that's for the pool.
Oh, I knew it existed.
Yeah, I got it at the Think Geek store.
Really?
In Orlando before we boarded the cruise in 2018. I have yet to use it because I don't have a pool, but it's in my arsenal of stuff. But no, that one and Kristin, I love that you feature Redbubble and Etsy because those two places really do support independent artists. And I think that's really important. And the nice thing about Etsy too is if you reach out to the artist and say, could you do this? They're really good at being able to do custom stuff. So
yes.
Yeah.
Good tip.
Now, y'all, before this goes away, like my face, but I have to do a shout out to y'all because I promised him I would. But we all know JJ from the cruise. Sweet.
Oh
amazing
my gosh.
JJ. I think he's maybe watching right now.
The badges, I bet.
Yes.
Yes. So JJ has made, and I told him I would tell y'all, he has made 200 of these wonderful, oh my God, where am I at?
There you go.
Star Trek.
Oh, wow.
God badges. To give away for free on the cruise. But if you are watching and not going on the cruise, you can go to Jenediah. It's JENEDIAH.com. And he'll send you one for free.
Oh
my
gosh.
Yes. Sweet, lovable JJ has.
We love JJ, and I've made him promise since I'm not going on the cruise that I need some at Star Trek Las Vegas. So I bet he would do that for other people.
He definitely would. He is a lovely human being, and he will definitely do that.
Kristin, quickly before we let you go, Tim wants to know, of all of that merchandise you've just featured, which is your personal favorite?
My personal favorite of those, I love. Listen, y'all, I love those rings. I really do. But my personal favorite thing that I've ever had is my sweet mama bought me in 1990 this TOS Spock shirt that was, I don't know how she found it in 1992, but it was fitted. It already had the I have it in my room, but it had this gold stitching on it around the edge, and it was legit, like really well crafted and well made, and it says Star Trek on it. So I don't know what kind of license it was, but it's way too small, but it's my go-to favorite thing because I keep it folded up nicely in a corner of my room with my sweet collectibles from that era.
Well, Kristin, thank you so much for all of those treasures. You've brought us a career in shopping TV beckons.
I know.
BBC.
And we will see you and everybody else a little later in the show.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's now dark here in Manchester. It was daylight when we started that.
It was. I know.
So we are going to take a very short break, and then we will be back with Jason.
What else can you listen to on the BQN? Replicate yourself a mug of hot chocolate and join Amy, Mark, Christos, and Kelvin as they discuss everything and anything in the Star Trek universe on All Good Things. Boost yourself with an energy drink and join Davey on YouTube and Twitch for reviews and live streams of classic, cheap, and sometimes more recent video games on Bargain Bin Gamer. Brew yourself a pot of coffee and join Jeremiah to discuss Star Trek Voyager on The Captain's Couch. Mix your favorite cocktail and join Mark and Matt at Cinema Z to discuss the films you probably missed but should definitely check out. Pour a cup of tea, Earl Grey, hot, and listen to Stephen and Keith as they discuss the next generation of Trek on Galaxy Class. Get yourself something caffeinated and learn an interesting bit of history with Chrissy and Jason on History with the Zalogis. Have a bowl of Flomeek soup and join Thad and Chrissy and a guest to discuss new episodes of Star Trek as they are released on Infinite Diversity. Have something to sharpen your mind and put your Trek knowledge to the test with the Treksperts quiz. Take a bite out of something that didn't seem edible and join Kyle, Kevin, Amy, and Haley covering all things in New Trek, including that show that is Trek in all but name, The Orville, on Union Federation. Get your Sunday brunch ready for the Viewscreen, a live weekly talk show hosted by Kelvin and Amy with featured guests talking about all things Trek. Pour a glass of wine and spill some tea with Christos, where he discusses current Trek news and events and explores the world of fandom via guest interviews, all with an LGBTQIA+ perspective on What's the Tea, Bev? And Patreon members get to pass around that green bottle of Aldebaran whiskey once a month on the round table, and they can listen to It's Green with Mark White and Amy's Math Moments.
Welcome back. And now we are going to bring in Jason Anderson, who is a victim advocate with the Denver District Attorney's Office. Welcome, Jason, to the Viewscreen. So excited to have you on. And you're going to be talking all things sort of political with us.
Yeah, I'm going to try. Well, it's great. First of all, it's great to be here. I love this show, The Viewscreen, which I said, I just put that together. It's great to be here. So thanks for having me. Do you want me just to jump in? I talk really fast, so I'll try to slow myself down, but I don't think it'll take me too long to get through it. But so when I was asked to come on to talk about politics in Star Trek, I just think that's such a vast subject. So I narrowed it down with the help of Amy and Kelvin, and I'm going to do my best in the time that I have. But I do want to have a couple of caveats first, which are one, I never realized how much Star Trek actually references 2024 until I started this process. And so that's what I'm going to talk about today, is just kind of the times that Star Trek in the past, while being filmed in the past, jumped forward to 2024, which for them was in the past, but now it's 2024. So I hope that's not too confusing, but I'm going to try to tie it all together. Two, I'm going to mainly talk about the Deep Space Nine episodes, past tense 1 and 2. I think you see the title clip from, or a title shot from number 2 there, past tense 2, from season 3, which was filmed in 1995. But if I have time at the end, I didn't realize until doing this research how much these specific episodes, past tense 1 and 2, have been written about. So I did a little bit of research about that too. And then number 3, I want to talk about an article that came in this last week on trekmovie.com. I don't know if you two were able to see it, but it is specifically related to the things that happened in Star Trek in 2024. So I just want to say, just as a shout out, while Amy and Kelvin and I we talked about this first back in December, so long before, the idea of me doing a politics segment, long before this article, but we had even, and I have the receipts, we had even talked about what I would talk about before this article came out. But I do think you should go, listeners should go read it, because it's really good and it's more comprehensive than I will probably get to. The author's name is Aaron Bossig. It's entitled Sanctuary Districts and Irish Unification, Star Trek's Vision of 2024 Comes Strikingly Close. So just putting that out there, that he wrote this great article. I'm going to talk about a lot of the things that he did, but okay, we did the idea first. I just putting that.
We
out.
did.
Had the idea. Yeah. Okay.
We don't ask for references. It's fine. You go for it, Jason.
Yeah. I just want to put that out there so it doesn't look like I'm totally plagiarizing, that object or that article. Okay, so getting to the topic, in the Deep Space Nine episode, past tense 1 and 2, which aired, like I said, in January of 1995. Brief reminder of what the article or the episode was about. Basically, Sisko, Bashir, and Dax get onto a transporter pad on the Defiant at Earth, trying to go to their present-day Starfleet headquarters, and a la annular confinement beam mishap, which I actually think they should work on that because it happens quite a bit, I believe, that there's a mishap with that annular confinement beam. But they actually wake up, those three characters wake up in 2024. And Sisko and Bashir specifically wake up in what's called a sanctuary district, or they're taken immediately to a sanctuary district. Dax, interestingly, wakes up pretty similar, but is not ever taken to that sanctuary district. So really what I wanted to talk about today, politics-wise, was the idea of that the writers in 1995 obviously had about how apparently they had the idea that homelessness and potentially, I guess, migration issues might be a big problem in 2024, and they were right. And so that's the strikingly close, I think, is it is a super big problem. Here is specifically where I live. I live in Denver, Colorado, as Amy said. It's also been, especially in the last few years, a real big problem in Los Angeles. And obviously, the United States' border. And I only feel really knowledgeable about talking about what's happening here where I live, because I don't know enough about LA, and I'll reference it a little bit, but just kind of bear with me. So Denver specifically is struggling with a very, very large number of unhoused individuals. And we have been, and then compounding on that, Denver has per capita recently had the largest influx of migrants of any other city in the United States. And so in the past year, just Denver has had 38,500 migrants come to Denver just in the last year. So it's a large per capita. I mean, some other cities obviously have had more, but not. We're a relatively small big city. So that per capita, we have actually had the largest influx. So that has caused, and also prior to that, we had what I would call, tent cities or encampments. There's some pictures there from, I think that's actually Los Angeles. I tried to get some pictures from Denver as well. I do want to say, though, in contrast, at least so far, instead of what actually took place in Deep Space Nine's episodes, our mayor here, at least our new mayor who just came into office middle of last year, I think July, has not created sanctuary districts or specific zones or districts. He has taken the issue very seriously, but he's actually, and I think very humanely, decided, like, we have got to do something about this. In Denver, it gets very, 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 very cold, a lot, especially during the winter. And I think very humanely, what you see there is a picture of one of the hotels. He purchased like unused or like maybe closed, shut down hotels, converted them into housing for unhoused people, whether that be migrants or just, traditionally unhoused people, and has converted these hotels into temporary housing, free housing for people who are experiencing homelessness. So obviously, as was the case and referenced in the episode, homelessness and mental health treatment, that does continue to be an issue here. So far, though, luckily, and hopefully it will never come to like something like the Bell riots, or necessitate like a transporter accident where like a crew from the future comes in and has to help us figure it out. But yeah, that's kind of the correlation that what you see there is from the episode of, but it's, as you can see, it looks very similar, I think, to a lot of the tent cities and encampments that we had previously had. And in Denver, like I said, we're trying to get people on their feet with hotels and other options. So I want to bring you guys in because I just, like I said, I can just go. And any questions or statements you guys have.
Yeah, I just want to ask the guy who you just said about providing the hotel accommodation. Sorry, I missed. Was that a private funded initiative, or was it the state who's done that?
It's the city and county of Denver's mayor. So
Yeah.
this in Denver, where I live, which is the capital of Colorado, the state that I live in, it's its own city and county. But the mayor of Denver is the person who came up with this idea. I mean, I don't want to say it is primarily financed by the city, and then actually that is currently a cause of. I mean, it's a great question to ask, Kelvin, because it is a cause of frustration. Currently, city employees are in a hiring freeze, and all city departments are having to take a percentage of their budget out because, as you can imagine, buying hotels and funding treatments and things like that is not free. And so every city agency and organization has had to basically cut their budget, and they're in a hiring freeze to kind of try to pay for this. So it's a great question. There are a lot of nonprofits that are helping. So I don't want to say it's not at all charitable. It is. But so it's a joint venture, but primarily tax dollars.
Yeah, I'm interested to understand, because here in the UK, we have similar schemes where the government will put migrants in hotels while they are waiting processing, basically, to become, either UK citizens or not. And politically, it's almost quite weaponized to rally the opinion of people who are saying they shouldn't be here. So all of this, there are people on legitimate waiting lists for social housing, and then you have migrants crossing the channel who are put into hotels. And the news will paint it, depending on your news provider, that these people live in luxury in a hotel and we're paying for it with our taxes. And it is creating that attitude of hatred towards migrants, which is obviously very, very dangerous and radicalizing.
Right. Very similar here, frankly. It is now becoming more and more politicized. And now that, actual, city employees and the city services are being impacted by funding this, it has created, even within mayors that traditionally support the current, like president's party and everything like that, are saying, look, the federal government has got to help us more. And that causes a friction, within political parties, not just one political party against another. Do you know what I mean? So it's actually a really big problem. And not, again, I don't want to get too political. There was legislation that would have fixed a lot of and helped cities like Denver and LA and Chicago and New York. It specifically had a lot of money in this bill recently that was supposed to pass the Senate, and then it would have had an even harder time through the House. But either way, the Senate didn't even pass the bill that they had originally asked for to help secure the border and to help with migrants coming into these cities. But like I said, I don't want to get too political one way or the other. But these are just facts that there are lots and lots of people coming to traditionally cities who have held themselves out as, I guess, what you could call, which is funny because it's the same word. Denver is a sanctuary city. We don't have sanctuary districts. I just want to be clear. But when traditionally some of the governors along the border have started specifically sending people to those sanctuary cities. I do also want to say that like Texas specifically and some border states have had an enormous influx, and they can't themselves, do it either by themselves. So anyway, it's just a huge issue. Luckily, though, no Bell riots. So
that kind of play on the terminology here, sanctuary. It's it's supposed to mean your savior. And the Deep Space Nine episode explored that the sanctuary actually became a hiding place, so that people in the rest of society wouldn't have to worry about the issue of homelessness because they were out of the way and it didn't affect us. Now, I don't know how much you know about the UK situation with migration from Europe and the Middle East.
Well, I listen to the BBC a lot, so
yeah, the current government have a very, very controversial and unpopular scheme where they are wanting to ship everybody to Rwanda, which
they have an agreement now, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have the best human rights measures in place there. So there's a lot of people saying this is completely inhumane, address migration rather than accepting that people are coming over illegally and then shipping them off they're trying to use it as a deterrent to say, if you manage to cross the channel, we're just going to send you to Rwanda. And it is that thing of not on our doorstep, and let's hide them away like the sanctuary district somewhere that's pretty not nice.
Yeah, it's the hardest thing, I think, is that it is such a hard question. Like, how do you want to be humane, but you need to do something because it is such a huge problem, and people are literally dying on the streets, especially in Denver, where it gets, like I said, some nights below zero, very, 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 very cold. And so, yeah, it's just such a huge issue. I think it just like a lot of different people need to do a lot of different things to kind of, we're all in this together, I guess, is the message, I think.
Yeah, I agree. There's just not one solution. It's going to take 100 different types of solutions, to work on a problem that is so systematic, so widespread, worldwide. We need a variety of solutions. Well, let's bring in Kristin and Christian.
Jason, I feel as though you and I could talk for hours on this because I work in government in Canada.
Wow.
So this is literally part of what I do, is helping to develop these types of services. It's really funny that you brought this up. I just want to share real quick. This is a reel I shared last night on Instagram. I don't know if anyone can see it. Oh, hold on. Anyway, it's like the happy face, sad face. And it says, realizing we're living in the Star Trek timeline, and then realize we're living in the Star Trek timeline. And it's like, wait.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Yeah. Christian, I don't know if you had anything to say. I do have real quick just some of the accolades that I wanted to say about those episodes of Star Trek, just to tie it back into Star Trek, is I didn't realize these are all pre-Discovery era. So I don't want to I just want to make sure that you know that they don't take into account this. But in 2017, The Atlantic named past tense the most political episode of Star Trek, which I think is a statement.
Yeah.
In 2016, The Hollywood Reporter named past tense the 47th best episode of Star Trek ever, and the 11th
47th,
and the 11th best episode of Deep Space Nine in total. And then the Sci-Fi Channel in 2016 ranked past tense both episodes the 7th best time travel plot. I think 7th is very far down the line,
I think it's
but there are a
think
lot of time travel episodes. So, I mean, anyway, those are the accolades, just a sampling of the accolades just for this specific set of episodes. So I just wanted to throw those out there.
So where I live right smack dab in the middle of British Columbia, near the border. So I'm about 2.5 hours from the Omak, Washington border. And in 2010, Vancouver, which everybody knows is on the coast, that is the biggest city in British Columbia, was awarded the Olympics. So what the government did is they went down to their East Hastings, which is ubiquitous with substance use and homelessness, and they gave them all a one-way ticket to Kelowna to get them off the streets, get them out of the public eye. And our little town just blew up in terms of homelessness problems. I don't want to say problems because they're not a problem. They're people. So Kelowna's been fighting for 14 years now, trying to figure out what to do. And this year in 2024, what the current Kelowna government is doing is they have gone and purchased 2 giant pieces of land, and then they have shipped in tiny homes. And they are setting up little districts in Kelowna of these tiny homes to house the unhoused.
Wow.
And
what do you think about that? What do you think that's a good, or do you see that as a sanctuary district?
On the one hand, I believe that it is a way to get people off the streets. We had, I think, 2 or 3 unhoused people die this winter because it got down to minus 30 Celsius, so minus 22 Fahrenheit here, and they died outside. So this is being seen as a way to try and save lives, but I believe it is a very slippery slope from good intentions to a catch-all. And
it's really funny you say this, because our current mayor that you just saw a picture of, he ran on the platform of building tiny home villages. I'm not joking. You can look at Denver News. But I'm sure you've heard of NIMBY and YIMBY. I don't know if you have that there.
Kelowna's full of NIMBYs.
Yeah, well, and so is Denver. Just to be clear, I mean, there is an organization called YIMBY. Yes, for those of you that don't know, NIMBY is not in my backyard, which means they do not want housing or tiny homes, like Kristin is saying, near them, because it's I think you obviously can extrapolate why. YIMBY means yes in my backyard. There is an active YIMBY group here in Denver too, so that's nice. But the hard part, and I don't know, I'm sure Kristin you could speak to it too, is one, Denver is a city. There's not a lot of just vacant, unused space that we can just put in all these tiny homes. And think about tiny homes they're small. And so you can get more of them, but it's a one level, there's challenges space wise with finding even neighborhoods to put. And so I'm sure you guys have had those same issues.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing was definitely where to put it. And unfortunately, like you said, there's not a lot of land. So they said, look, okay, so we have sort of a commercial district, which has a lot of just manufacturing stuff. So that is where they put the tiny home district that is dedicated to dealing with people with really severe drug addiction issues. And then those who are just sort of stuck in being priced out of the current housing market, they are the ones who are more in town because they're more acceptable homeless as opposed to those who are drug addicted. And you see that in past tense. The gentleman who gets shot at the end, the dad, I cry every time I see that. Yeah. Those are the people I work with. And to think that they're not seen as human beings because they don't have a home. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
No, don't be sorry.
Yeah.
And versus what are they called? Simps, I think, where they're the ones with mental health. And like Bashir says, they need help. And so we work with, and there's so much unknown about mental health still, especially when it comes to things like autism and FASD, where they're invisible disabilities. They don't look disabled, so people assume that they should be fine, but they've got stuff going on in their brains that they don't understand, and it just seems people would rather see them die. We actually had we have a tent encampment here, and a couple years ago a guy drove his truck through it. And he claimed that, I'm so sorry, I got drunk at the strip club and I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like, that's not an excuse. So no. It's when I watch this kind of stuff happen, I see it getting to a boiling point. And so I love that our town is moving to try to do stuff, but it's also we need to set a limit as to how invisible we make these people, because they're still human beings. So
the thing about Star Trek is that obviously it touches and affects us all in individual ways, that it would affect your own morality. But think about all those people who would, go up to Gates McFadden and say, I became a doctor because of you. There are some people who will go into politics because they will be as touched as you are, Kristin, from that episode of Past Tense, that they want to make problems like homelessness and migration a problem of yesterday.
Yeah.
So I guess we have to have faith that some good people are going to help solve this problem if we can't do it collectively ourselves. I don't just mean us five, by the way. That's kind of
It's just us.
we're quite the powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think Star Trek influenced why I went into law. And I can't think of the episode, but it's with Simon Tarses. What is that one? Kelvin.
Oh, the drumhead.
The
The
drumhead.
drumhead resonated. I mean, it's literally, I think it was formative for me.
Wow.
I knew you got your dress style from Nora Sati.
Obviously.
I look at you and she's the first person I think of.
I think everybody, right? Yeah.
Well, I went into support work because of Troy.
Yeah.
I watched her.
And
I
Troy.
watched her,
Yeah.
working with people and helping them through their vulnerabilities and everything. And I was like, she's helping people, because I was not good at science. So don't put me in an operating room. But
Or
I can help
math.
people talk through their problems. So yeah.
Yeah, I got my master's in counseling because of Troy.
There we go.
Yeah.
I always say I think I did what I did a lot because of Troy too. Amy and I, and it sounds like Kristin, Troy's our favorite. So
Yeah.
That makes sense. We're all empaths. But.
And I'm a Pisces. Like, with Cancer rising. If anyone knows what that means, it means I'm a mess. Hell, that's why I'm crying on the internet right now.
You don't seem like a mess.
But you're our mess and we love you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we would like to thank you so much for coming on the view screen. Jason, that was just wonderful. Where can people find you out there on the interwebs?
I think you put it in the show notes. It's Anderson5280 on Instagram, JAA5280 on X, aka Twitter. I'm on Facebook as well, and as everybody here, most everybody here, I think, is a member of the Federation group on Facebook. Please check us out there. We're an LGBTQ and ally group. So yeah, that's me.
Very
Lovely.
good.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for coming
you.
on.
Thanks for having me.
And Christian, where can people talk to you and find out all the stuff to buy?
You can find me on Instagram or Facebook, just Christian Carter. If you need a recap and some of that stuff, you just let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
about
so
it.
much.
I mean, or if you come to Nashville, I'll be here. Slinging drinks.
Yes.
Right in my mouth.
Christian, thank you so much, my love, for coming on.
Yes. And Kristin?
Yes. I am on Instagram at KStratz, STRATZ. Facebook is just my name as written below. I don't do Twitter and or X. And I'm also on Reddit. So /Garrick's Fan Club.
All right.
Thank you, Kristin. We will see you very soon, my love.
See you in a few days.
Yes.
Wow, Amy, that was very much, we went all over on today's episode.
We did. So much
pulled
fun.
on the heartstring. Remind all of the viewers where people can find you online as well.
Well, you can find me here on the network doing some podcasts. Well, All Good Things is going to come back, so we'll be there. Union Federation is going to come back, obviously, in April as we get to discuss new discovery. But I'm on Twitter at Miss Amy Nelson, but really, favorite place, BQN Collective, our Facebook group. And Kelvin, where can people contact you?
Same for me. You will find me on All Good Things when we return in a couple of months' time. You can also find me in the BQN Collective on Facebook, or if you want to come for me directly, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Kelvin's Timeline.
Yeah.
So we would love to hear what you thought of today's show, and we hope that you will join us on our Facebook group, the BQN Collective, and continue the discussion there. Please make sure you hit the like and subscribe button on YouTube to make sure you don't miss an episode of the Viewscreen.
And if you'd like to support us, please head on over to patreon.com/BQN. And again, hit that like and subscribe so you don't miss another show.
Oh, thanks, Rashid. Thank you, Tim, for joining us. Our stalwarts keeping us going there week in, week out. You guys are great. Now, Amy, I would say, what have we got next week?
Well, nothing actually. Listen, we're going to be on the Star Trek cruise, so we will not be live next Sunday. Follow our socials if you're interested to see all of us get together and having fun.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we're going to be back in 2 weeks' time then.
Yeah, and we'll have a mini cruise recap. Kristin will be, of course, returning with the news, and we're going to have Josh Judkins with us talking science. Very excited for that. And Matt Harker's going to recap the events from the cruise.
All the same time, same place in 2 weeks' time. But for now, thanks to David in the control room. Thanks to everybody for watching. Thank you, Amy. And end transmission.